now we're live, but also
We're live.
but also pre-recorded. So hey man.
What's up, brother?
Not much. I know that today is one of the best
You're
days.
turning away from the mic. You're trying to kill me.
Oh, I said. I said I'm guessing today's one of the best days of your life. One of,
Why is this?
because it's one of the, it's a relaxing day. You get to make your own choices today. I understand you have a job, but everybody likes a vacation. Everybody likes a vacation. It's like, oh, I like doing stuff.
Well, I did have the morning off today, and I got to rest and sleep in a little bit, and that was honestly it was good for me. Like I woke up early, but then got to go back to sleep and get that second morning nap, and then you wake up and it's still morning. I think that's the best shit ever. Like
Okay.
you wake up and it's like 5:30 in the morning. You're like, all right, it's 5:30 in the morning. I really don't need to be awake, but I feel kind of good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's not like I need to go back to bed right now. I can't believe I'm awake. It's like if I had to start my day now, I could start my day now. But I was like, no, let's just stay up a little bit and then like take another nap. And so I did appropriate things to lead toward napping, and kicked my feet up, took a nap for about 2 hours, and I feel fucking tastic right now. And yeah, so Jess had to do some like nutrition stuff and a workout today, and Matt Levy, who is both of our strength and conditioning coach, has banned me from working out for at least 2 weeks. And so I may have broken that a teeny bit, but I'm not breaking that a whole lot, right? So like I'm serious. Like they did a workout on Thursday that was just like some footwork and coordination stuff. And that's really challenging for me because my foot, so I didn't go crazy in it, but I did a bunch of the drills and it was super fun. And I didn't like hurt myself. I didn't like overdo it, but it just looked too tempting. You know, like there was this one drill where you're facing away from the person and the other person in the drill, and they have a tennis ball, right? Yeah. And you start backpedaling like an NFL cornerback, right? So you're running backwards, facing forward, trying to look straight ahead, so that you'd have to use your peripheral vision to pick up the ball as the person rolls it on the ground. And as it passes you, you stop and then you sprint after the ball and catch it, right?
Gotcha.
Like drills like that. It was really fucking fun, man. Like, so besides that, I'm not supposed to work out, so I did not go with Miss Jess to the PI today. I took the morning to myself. I played a little Galaga.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I watched some videos about cooking brisket, you know, and just just relaxing and studying regular life stuff. And then I've got to do a bunch of things I don't want to do right after this podcast, like domestic tasks. I'm looking around at my room, and I basically opened my suitcase when I got back to Vegas and just let my suitcase explode all over my room. Like there's a suitcase explosion in my bedroom, and it's really not cute, and that needs to be addressed. And so I'm going to spend a little bit of time today addressing that. It won't take long. Yeah. But just a task I don't want to do.
No, it makes sense. Makes sense. Let's see.
So is there any big news in the MMA world?
Well, so the news came out that, you know, the real reason of why Brock is done with the, got said ended with the UFC. It's
Why?
A contract dispute. So he wanted a very high flat rate, since now that the pay-per-view model doesn't really matter so much for the UFC. And
right.
They're like, yeah, no, kick rocks, kid. And so
did anyone leak how much he wanted?
I don't think so, but I can look really fast.
Like now, just so everyone's caught up, the UFC used to have standard pay-per-views like every other pay-per-view you've used to your whole life with boxing and pro wrestling and MMA. So you would just go and contact your cable provider and you would get the pay-per-view. And then the model started to shift where they started letting it be open and available on many other platforms. Like you could order it on YouTube. You could order it through their website. And now they've moved to ESPN Plus's platform, and you must order all pay-per-views through their app. And so because of that, the model and the way that the pay structure happens down to the fighters, the trickle-down effect has changed. And so some fighters, apparently like Brock Lesnar, want more cash up front. They're like, yo, I don't understand how you doing these points now, cuh. So You're gonna have to give me a fucking bag just to show up, and then we'll see what happens after that. And apparently, the UFC wasn't having it this time.
Yeah. So they didn't disclose how much, or couldn't find anything that says how much, but it looks like that was the main issue for why there's like no DC Brock Lesnar.
I mean, ain't it always the money though?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like tough dudes will fight each other. People that aren't even tough will fight each other,
Yeah.
right?
It's just cash.
Like people will fight, but the cash has to be right. And if it's not right for him, it's not right for him. So who knows where he decides to go take his talents, or if he can.
Yeah.
Like again, we discussed this before, and we kind of thought maybe he could, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the Brock Lesnar saga.
Yeah. So Brock's on his journey, and then what's the other nonsense we got going on? Oh, Cowboy versus Ally Quinners tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And on what platform is that airing?
It's a bunch of platforms. Let's find out. Let's find out how it works. It's on ESPN, but you gotta find out what the order is.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like the prelims, the early prelims will be on ESPN Plus, and then the prelims will be on ESPN, and then the pay-per-view will be on ESPN Plus, or it'll be all the prelims on ESPN Plus, and then the main card is on Shoot ESPN. So,
or if you want to have a real mind fuck, you can do UFC Fight Pass. Then you can jump onto ESPN. Then you go to pay-per-view. I mean, we can just really play around with this for a bit.
If you really want to fuck your head up, you can chase the UFC around all the platforms you want.
Yeah. But I think, let me double check. Yeah, so everything on this fight card is ESPN Plus. So prelims and main card, which makes everything so nice.
And that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow at 8 p.m. So
for you.
For me.
5 p.m. for me.
5 for this guy. 5. But yeah.
Which I still need to adjust to. It's a lovely thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like you get spoiled over here on that end of it.
Yeah,
like to be able to watch fights at a reasonable hour and be like, oh, if I felt like it, I could go do another activity. I don't feel tired.
Yeah.
Like
so nothing's closed. Nobody's reckless yet. It's all
exactly.
You're still in the perfect hour. Like it ends at 8.
But here's the thing though, if you're used to like, oh, it's the UFC, let's get lit, right? Now you're lit and it's 8 o'clock. Like
then that's where your night starts. That's what you do.
Like it's supposed to be 1 a.m. I'm supposed to go to bed and complain about how I have to get up for work and
no, this is where it starts.
But no, now you're just fucking lit in the middle of the fucking early evening. You gotta deal with that shit. You gotta push through.
Yeah, no. Then they take you out. Then you gotta leave your house after that. You can't be home. Be out, just absolutely destructively drunk. You gotta go somewhere. They take you somewhere.
You gotta impose that on others.
Exactly. That's how you make a name for yourself in the scene. And then.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep making a name for myself in that way to a fucking minimum while I'm out here. Like if it gets wild, if it gets loose, the doors are locked and it's only friends around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody needs to know how wild shit gets.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. But yeah, no, it is definitely nice that you have that like ability to change it up. Like maybe it's like, oh, what? It's like maybe it happens on like a Friday night, and maybe for whatever reason people have a jiu-jitsu class open at Friday night. You could just be like, all right, have 2 beers, take a quick shower, and then off to jiu-jitsu. Whatever you need to do. I mean, got a lot of stuff you can get done. It's not a.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. A lot of hours in the day.
Yeah, it feels like it. It's like, man, I'm like texting Darren. He's like, I just got up. I'm like, man, I've been up. Like, fuck, it just feels so nice. He's like, yeah, man, I'm still doing stuff. What are you doing? I'm sleeping. I'm like, oh man, this sucks. Damn, it sucks, man.
That's funny.
Sleeping, but
so
yeah.
Let's discuss a couple things that are kind of random and are just like.
Do you want to finish the card? You want to do the card first, and then we'll.
My life. Yeah, we can do the card first. Let's do that.
All right. So
let's talk about Di Cerrone and Mr. Ali Quinta.
So it's one of those who knows fights because it's like, all right, you got Al, who is really good at wrestling, even though everybody tries to discredit his wrestling because they want to discredit Khabib. And then you have Don Cerrone, who's like dad power now. When he's like dad power, he hurts dudes. He comes out all old and stiff but he comes out whipping.
Oh man,
whipping the whippersnappers. So like that's what it is. It's like
whipping them whippersnappers.
Exactly. So you don't know. I would like for Al to win it. I mean, I would like for everybody to win. I would like for these two both to win.
Aw.
In this situation, these two should both win in their own right. I want Al to win because then I want him to go over there and just like smash up Khabib. But I want Donald to win so he can get that money fight with Conor. So there's the two things that should work out. But I don't know. I think Al will probably win over with his like dominant wrestling and his striking.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know who I think will win this fight. Donald Cerrone looked big as fuck the last time I saw him.
Yeah.
He looked really big.
Like in person,
and I was like,
in the fight.
Yeah, in person.
Okay.
He looked real big. So I was like, damn, I would not want to fuck with that. But Al is a fucking game guy. And he shows the fuck up. That dude shows up. He's got his lunch pail. He's got the hard hat on.
It's like,
man,
he's
not.
Al. Same Al.
I was serious, dude. Like, same Al, dude.
Same Al. It's like, whoa.
He's a bad motherfucker.
Whoa, sends chills.
So I have difficulty picking against him.
Right.
You know, I have difficulty picking against Mr. Iaquinta. Is there a co-main? What's the co-main?
Co-main is Derek Brunson versus Elias Theodora.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Elias. We got to go for Elias. Hello, my name is Elias. He's the ring boy. And he's a marijuana advocate and a nice guy. I saw him backstage in Toronto. He fought on that same card that Jess fought on in Toronto. And had a really crazy fight, and he won. I'd like to see him win this fight, but man, that's a tough draw. Derek Brunson is a tough draw for him. But he's one of these guys who's like, again, I already use this term, but like a gamer, like, so like I saw Elias in the back warming up. The first time I ever saw him, I didn't meet him yet. I just see him moving.
Yeah.
And he's doing shit that looks like it's out of action movies, right? He's just fucking playing, like doing wild, crazy shit. And I'm like, is this motherfucker gonna try this in the motherfucking cage? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, am I being punked? Like, is he fucking around? And I don't know if he was fucking around or not, or if that's just how he likes to get loose. But like, just like the confidence to move that way in the warm-up area. Like, you see most people, like, they warm up in a very strict, very stiff way. And like, he had this like looseness and almost like a carefree attitude that like started to like draw me to him. I was like, oh man, I want this dude to fucking win. You know, like, I want this dude to win. And then after the fight, he was cool and we chatted. And he chatted to Jess, who was a cool dude. So I was like, all right, I'm in your fucking corner now. Like, I support you. I'm a fan now. But that is a tough draw. So I'm going to say Elias by finish in the third.
Okay.
Finish in the third. I think that's the way he gets it done. I think it'll be hard to get a decision on Derek Brunson. But everybody can get caught, and this dude will stick around and try to make it happen.
Yep. And then last one, and then we'll move on to your stuff, is that we got Cub Swanson versus Shane Burgos.
Oh, cool. Shane was out of that fucking camp, Tiger Schulman's camp.
Yep.
And he's got good hands. He's a good striker. But Cub is so well-rounded. And I guess the question is, like, is Cub done? Like, does Cub need to be fighting these motherfuckers? Like, what is his ranking right now?
Let me see. Let's see. Who did Cub? I think Cub lost every fight. Yeah, he's lost.
Don't say it like that. Don't say it like that.
Okay.
He lost a few in a row.
Yeah, he hasn't won since 2017.
Okay, see, that's tough.
That's tough. All right, let's look up his ranking right now. But I'm guessing it's pretty. I'm guessing it's pretty much dropped off.
But it's not that there's a lack of talent or skill there. It's like, man, like, there's no way after all the fights you don't start to lose a step at some point. And maybe he's just at that point. Or maybe he needs a change, you know, a change in camp or inspiration or who knows. But that's a tough spot to be in. And for Shane, that's an opportunity to put a name on your resume, you know? So guys tend to show up with their fucking best selves when they're fighting somebody that they've known of since they started lacing up their gloves. Right. You know, dudes show up in their best form. So
that's a real nice. Well, for right now, he's not even ranked, so that's a real nice step up for him. that he gets because Cubs like ranked like number 10.
Okay.
So yeah, but also
Yeah, so it's one of those. It's kind of like an opportunity fight. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if you beat this guy, it's like they've turned Cub into a gatekeeper
yeah,
essentially.
pretty much yeah. He's got
And I hesitate to use these terms, right? I don't use these terms begrudgingly. Like these are just like the terms that are used, and it appears that that's what the situation that he's in his career right now. And but the beautiful thing about careers is that these motherfucking things can turn around at any point. You can go on a win streak and find yourself fighting for belts. So
yeah.
um, I really like watching Cub fight, but I don't know if he doesn't win this one. I think he should think about maybe changing what he's doing for his money.
Yeah. That makes sense. Plus, it's, like you said, it's a tough division. I mean, if you look at the 9 guys above him, you got like Josh,
Dude,
Jeremy Stevens, Zabit,
45 is no motherfucking joke, man.
Volkanovski, Edgar, Ortega, although also the champion Max Holloway,
Yeah, like
who's whooped.
I don't want any parts of that top 10.
Yeah.
Let's make that very clear. Like at 45, there's nothing but like dudes with razor blades under their tongues,
like,
dog.
hey,
It's
what's up?
fucking assassins out there.
dudes who can do it in different ways too. It's not like everybody knocks dudes down. No, some dudes just classy with it. He's just dusting you up like pop, 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 pop. So then I'm just like,
Classy with
it
it.
is though. Like it's classy. It's like he hits you like He's like, I'm not trying to knock you out. I'm just trying to teach you a lesson, son. Like, that's what it is.
I'm just trying to make sure you stay on the right path.
Exactly. You understand. You understand what's going on. So what's up?
That's that street uncle correction. You know, your street uncle catches you acting a fool, and he catch you in the street, punch you in the chest.
Quick question.
Oh shit.
Robert
What's up?
Robinson. What city are you in? He's in Las Vegas.
What city am I in?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what they're asking.
I am in LAS.
Yes, Las Vegas. Robert Robertson. Whatever.
I am in Vegas. I will be back in Cleveland in a couple of weeks, but just for a day. So only people inside the academy will most likely be able to see me because I have another thing to attend to. So I'm going to be in Monday night, and then Tuesday I have a bunch of shit to do, and then I have to fly out Tuesday as well.
Yep. Makes sense. All right. Now your stuff. What's up? Talk to us.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up?
You want me to tell you what's really good?
What's up, son?
All right, so I'm on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to make a little video that's shareable. And Jess was like, oh, you got to go into your settings and you got to make your story shareable. And I was like, oh, I didn't really realize that they weren't shareable already. Right? I wasn't aware that you couldn't just see my shit. So I changed my settings. And as I'm changing them, I see several things that I found deeply disturbing.
What's up?
The first thing, and most disturbing, is what we should discuss. The rest of it doesn't really matter. It's inconsequential. But now, keep in mind, I've never changed a setting on Instagram, right? So whatever the settings are default settings. Like I did not try to protect my feelings in any manner, right?
Wait, hold on. What do you mean by feelings?
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. I'm talking about feelings right now.
Okay.
So, and you should check your Instagram as well, just to make sure I'm not tripping right now.
Okay, let's go through this.
Go into your settings,
Let's see this.
and I think you'll see that in the comments, your comments, the default setting is to block rude comments.
Let's see. So
It tries to protect your sensitive baby feelings from people being mean to you,
settings.
which is ludicrous to me.
Let's see. I'm gonna go to notifications. No. Oh, post stories and comments. Likes and comments from.
Like it's literally insane. Like I don't need Big Brother Instagram trying to be like, well, if you say something mean to Darren, we have to stop you from doing that. Like, say the mean things. So I changed that, and I now allow all comments. But I was just disturbed by the fact that that was the default setting. The default setting was like, block rude comments.
Let's see. Privacy and security. Account privacy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't see anything yet. Comment.
Go into like general.
Oh wow. Okay, I see it now.
Mm.
It says comment controls. So for those of you who are in the Android world, go to privacy, security, comment controls, and it says hide offensive comments on.
And did I make that up?
No.
No, it's designed that way.
I mean,
Instagram is designed to hide and block offensive comments. Now, what does that even mean?
that is true. I mean,
Like, who decides what's offensive and who's not? Who's in charge of that?
oh, I think there's a system.
How does it know my standards for what's offensive?
It doesn't. It doesn't know what's your standard for offensive. It's a general consensus for what's considered.
A general consensus. That doesn't mean anything either.
It doesn't really, but that's the.
They pulled all. No one asked me.
No, of course not, because you were a person that was affected by it. So basically, what it is like, if somebody, say for example, like let's put an example out there. We'll say Schmig Ray, a good friend of ours, Schmig Ray has an Instagram account because we don't want people being jerks and going after Schmig Ray because they that's what they do. So he has an Instagram.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I feel like you were trying to kayfabe something and I'm lost.
Schmig Ray, he's a big Middle Eastern dude. He's very subtle. So basically, like if somebody finds one of his like comments offensive, they can just say report comment, and then people can just keep reporting comments until that comment is deemed like inappropriate. So it'll be turned off automatically until somebody reviews it and then turns it back on. Does that make sense?
I mean, that process, I understand what you're saying.
I know.
But like I have final edit on that, right? I can just delete comments if I want to already.
You can delete comments, but you won't. It's like deleting comments you can't see. It's like you would never know those comments existed if you had that filter turned on.
That's what I mean. So I wonder how many people tried to say rude things to me and give me that hateful energy.
Let's do some research.
That I value so much.
let's do some
Who are prevented from doing so by Big Brother Instagram.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see something real quick. Let's do some research.
Are you gonna put a rude comment on me right now?
No. We're gonna look up some history.
You really should.
Let's see. Comment control.
I wasn't aware that. It's not that I wasn't aware that all of these apps are run by like millennial leftist people, right? Who are like all a part of Generation Snowflake, right? Like, oh, I don't want any part of, oh, you have to be careful. And it's like, dude, I'm like, just today, I was talking to Jess and she was talking about how like I'm an empathetic person, right? It's not that I'm not empathetic. It's not like I don't value other people's feelings. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying you're protecting me from something that doesn't need protecting. Like, I don't need to be shielded from words. That's madness. Like, that's madness. Like, I feel like that's the world that a lot of the people that I look up to, I've been warning against for a long time now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That like, you're going to be protected and coddled until you're too soft to fucking survive. And like, that's the default setting. The word offensive can't be default. It's subjective. Like, this is not like radical thought here.
Right.
You know? Like, you know what? Have you seen the latest Rogan with Eddie Izzard?
I've seen parts and bits of it, but I haven't seen everything.
He used a term that I'm kind of in love with right now, and he said that he identified with himself as a radical moderate. And I'm like, I know, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's like, I am radically saying that nobody knows what the fuck they're doing, and we have to have a compromise in the middle. like that shouldn't be a radical statement, but it is right now. Like, it's radical to be like, hey, maybe you're kind of right and maybe you're kind of right. Like, it's like, no.
Impossible. Only one can win.
It's like, look, do people who identify as leftists have points that matter and that are valid and would help the world? Yes.
No, because they're black, because black lives don't matter. There you go.
Stop. Do people who are ultra conservative have points that make sense and would make the world better? Yes. So that means somewhere in the middle of these ideas, there's an intersection that would make things very harmonious and probably good for everyone. But like, you're going to have to admit that you're not all the way right all the time. And nobody wants to fucking do that. Except for me and Eddie Izzard, apparently. Me and Eddie are cool with it.
Yeah. So, quick update. Uh, it's been on there since 2017.
So this is a relatively new invention. When did Instagram debut?
Instagram.
When did it launch? Isn't that the right word?
Yeah.
It launched like a rocket ship.
2010.
Okay. So 2017 was when it basically hit that critical mass, I'm sure, where it was so big that everybody had an Instagram. Like, I bet I had Instagram in 2017 or 2016. And I didn't really use it that heavily until 2018, I believe.
Yeah.
And I'm late to the party, you know? At first, Instagram was basically just for photographers, I believe. Like, it was like, that was the idea, was that you could create a photo journal because everywhere else you could do things with words. And then it started to evolve, and now there's stories that are borrowed from Snapchat, and like you start to make things broader. Now they have IGTV.
Yeah.
Do you fuck with that at all?
Sometimes, if basically if it's like there's a long video posted on my like feed, then I just click to that and it turns to IG story, but I don't go or IGTV, but I don't go actively looking for them.
Okay, I think that's how most people are using it. I think that's how most people get it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's people that are searching to do that shit, just like anything else. But yeah, I found that fucking whack. I found that whack. And if it's a relatively new policy, that means it could be fucking changed, and it should be. Like, that should not be the default setting. If you think it's that important to someone, if you think that like somebody might want to change that right when they launch their own Instagram, then you should put that in that little fucking blurb in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's like, sign up for your thing, and like, let's make sure this is you. And hey, do you want to make sure that you block these rude comments?
Yeah.
Because I would have been like, no, fucking bring them on. And that would have been that. Instead, I had to click through several things and find this shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even super easy to locate.
I mean,
Hell no. Hell no. Shame on you, Instagram.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know how. I don't understand how it would work for like. So basically, if you were just like if I put like you're a faggot on your post, like what would happen? Like, because I don't think anything would happen. I mean, if I put it on your post, it would like
now.
If I put it on your post
right now, nothing would happen.
Maybe. But if I just said it like without any context, like you're a faggot, people on your feed might be like, "Oh, that's a hateful ass dude," comment or block. And so
now here's the thing, like
if you put it on mine, it'd be a different story. No, I don't think.
Who is going through? I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think you're overstating things. Who is going through comments and being like, report?
Oh, there's people.
Don't be reporting shit on my behalf.
No,
like, report shit on your own. That's how it's supposed to work.
It offends them. They saw it on your page, and it offends them. It's not something that you did directly. It's something somebody else did. So
there should be a trigger warning, like, hey, I don't block other people's comments. So if it gets wild on here and you read it and it hurts your virgin eyes, if your puritanical interpretation of what the world's supposed to look and sound like gets offended by the sensibilities of whoever the fuck comments on my pages, then maybe you should just go fuck yourself and unfollow me. Like, there's always that. Like, you know?
Yeah,
unfollow, unfuck yourself.
Like, I wonder, I think, now I'm thinking about it more. I think I know how it works now. So basically, there's like a list of words and like common phrases, because you can add your own in too if you want. So you can add in words that they don't even have in their system. Like, you could put like trigger.
Learn to code.
Or like, yeah, I'm sure that's in there now. But like, you can have like trigger in there or something like that. And then like you would never see that word. And so I'm thinking that it's not even like a user-based thing. It's just like it's like by default, here's a list of words that we arbitrarily find inappropriate, and we're going to block them.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense.
I mean, hard R's blocked. A's. You got to let black people express themselves. We have to be. It's a nuanced word.
It is.
It's not our word.
They pull out a color chart. Yeah. They put out a color chart to make sure that you are black. It's a whole different.
They're like, learn to code. Bam! No. Blocked. Fucking banned. Suspended.
Learn the code. Learn the code. Speaking of Instagram, I'm trying to find this channel I'm into now. I think it's like
What is this?
hose and kimonos. Yeah,
What?
yeah, hose and kimonos. It's like
The smile on your face right now.
well, because like what's funny is that they have very innocent. There's like very innocent jujitsu, but the one video like I saw was like the chick was just like comes in and just starts twerking and spats, and her friend runs up on her, hits her in the ass. And the other girl goes for like goes for a single leg X guard, then goes for a leg lock, then they just go fight for leg locks while they're slapping each other's asses. And I thought it was hysterical. Because
Wait. So it's instead of girls in geese,
it's like,
which is a reputable association of women who train throughout America. Are you also telling me there's a rival gang called Hose and Kimonos?
Yes.
No, is this driven by a group of actual women, or is this just some wanker dude
No, it's
who like
it's two chicks.
takes
It's
two chicks. They're the Hose and Kimonos.
Yeah, hose and kimonos. Yeah,
We have to talk to them.
they're always around. They're like hose and kimonos. Yeah.
Shut up. Oh my God. I will
Yeah.
follow them immediately. As soon as this podcast is over, I'm going to follow Hose and Kimonos.
It's hilarious.
I'll get to the bottom of this myself.
Yeah.
Where are they out of?
I don't know. I haven't really been creeping
You're
too
like,
hard.
they're in Vegas. They're neighbors.
I would, yeah, I haven't found the location. I haven't been trying to creep too hard.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
That's really
actually,
funny.
Hold on. I guess Philly.
Okay.
Yeah. Figure creep.
Out of Philly.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Hose and Kimonos.
So,
Doing it for the game. Doing it for the culture.
Yeah. They got shamed.
That hurt my ribs a little bit.
They got shamed. They were told they were terrible, like women role models for jiu-jitsu. So
Really?
Yeah. Because
Where were all the banning of the rude comments then? Why don't you ban these fucking dried up bitches that don't like jokes?
said no. It's respectful.
That's obviously a joke. Like,
Hose and kimonos is amazing.
that's such a
It's such a great move too.
it's so funny. Like, especially since it's like a channel or a fucking account driven by them. Like, if it's some dude that's like just taking snapshots of chicks and geese when they like open up and the sports bras
kinda
exposed, and they're
creepy.
like
Yeah.
Hose and kimonos. Like, that dude would be scandalous and should be beaten with like an inch of his life and batteries thrown at him and his body and his friends set on fire at his funeral. Like, but like if two girls, whenever you're like, yo, we Hose and kimonos, like that's fucking hilarious. Like, enjoy the joke. Like, enjoy
Yeah.
that shit.
And like what's funny is that all their content is like mostly tame. It's like there's not really anything. It was just that one video and that's all it took. It's like, oh no, so they had to take it down.
They took it down.
I think so because it was on their channel. You have to look at viral.
Yeah, we
BJJ.
gotta stand up for these hoes.
Yeah, Hose and kimonos. It was the funniest.
They're being censored by the culture
Oh man, it was
of
so
like
funny.
girls that are like, you're setting us back. And it's like, no, they're not setting you back. You know who's setting you back? The girl who sucked 15 dicks in the same academy. That girl's setting you back.
There you go.
Like,
That's what's
it's
happening.
not. It's not Hose and kimonos. They're not
Yeah.
setting you back.
Hose
They're,
and Kim-
they're just making funny things.
and one of them's a black belt, so you guys got to chill out.
So he lacks.
So he lacks.
Wait, what are their names?
Let's see. Hold on. So Liz Mitrovic and Joy Pendle.
All right. Shout out to Liz and Joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody else can take a joke or take a shuttle. Like, calm down. Let a motherfucker live. If a motherfucker wants to twerk and then go play leg locks, let him twerk.
Oh,
Like,
and these girls are like giants too.
see, they can take care of themselves. They don't need your help.
They're giants. They're like at least 6 foot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're tall. Like you know that mat.
Yeah, that's really funny.
You know that wall padding that they have, like people have, like I think.
Yeah,
they're
the
tall.
standard is 6 feet tall.
Yeah, they're about that height.
You're like, they're about that big.
They're about that
They're
big.
way bigger than you.
They're pretty bigger than me, so it's all good. Oh man, so we got that. That was I forgot about that. The Jose Kimonos is always hilarious. What's his Takagormi? I think that's his name is Takagomi. I think he got KO'd. No,
Wait, slow down.
Yushin Okami.
Are you-
There you go. Yushin Okami.
Man, are all Asians just interchangeable? Did you just, first of all, you just bumbled the name of like maybe one of my favorite fighters of all time, the Fireball Kid, Takanori Gomi. You disrespectful son of a bitch.
Yes.
Then you confused him with a much larger Asian, Yushin Okami, who's not nearly as exciting as Gomi. Like, just because it ends in a similar syllable, you just fucking, oh, they're both yellow. Me at the end, they're same dude. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it could have been like Kung
same
Lee.
guy.
Could have been like, what's his name? What's that dude that fought Rich Franklin? The Asian dude.
That's Yushin Okami.
No. There was another one. There was like a beefed up dude who was like trying to be like blood sports.
Wait,
Let's see.
who was trying to be like Bloodsports?
Yeah, he was like.
Are you talking about Sexyama?
No. He was like he literally looks like the guy in Bloodsports. Like he, let's see.
I'm worried about you.
Franklin. It's like Kung Lee.
Oh, Kung Lee.
Kung Lee. There you go. Yeah.
He doesn't look like that dude in Bloodsport.
Oh,
He has
yeah.
a similar name. See, again, you're just blending your Asians. Technically, you're woman's Asian.
Yes. They call.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
I want to say, Chung Lee. It's not Kung Lee. It's Chung Lee.
Yeah, in the movie.
No, in real life too. Chung Lee.
No.
Yeah.
No.
C-
I'm gonna kick you in the dick.
C-U-N Chung Lee, not Kung with a K. It's C. Chung Lee.
Yeah. No, there's no CH. It's just Kung Lee.
Yeah, that was it's Kung Lee. That was with a K. Kung
You're
Lee.
like, yeah, that's what I said. That's,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I said.
Yeah, he looks. Yeah, no, I swear to God, come on, blood sports, Asian, come on.
Oh my God, Anthony. Yeah, show the audience a side by side so they can see what a racist son of a bitch you really are. These men look nothing alike. You're talking about Bolo Young, who was first put on, I believe, in a movie called Chinese Hercules, who was also in Enter the Fucking Dragon, who is famously in a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie called Bloodsport, where he played the villain, Chung Lee. And he was a fucking badass. He like broke that fucking dude's leg and he beat the fuck out of Jean-Claude Van Damme's friend, and then he held a bandana in his hand. It's super iconic. That man looks nothing. Nothing like the famous Sand Show turned Strike Force turned UFC fighter named Kung Lee.
I'm just saying, minus the hair. Like,
Look at you.
they're pretty much the same guy.
already making fucking adjustments to your. Well, minus this, if you take away the shape of the head, and you take away the shape of the nose and the eyes and the mouth, they're basically virtually identical.
I mean, all right. Basically, you get rid of the long hair and the tan. They're the same guy. Obviously, Kung Lee's got better abs for sure. This was like this. They were shot
Way better abs, but Bolo got the chest though. Bolo got chest game. That's how he got that Chinese Hercules job.
Yeah. It's all great and all, but you
Chest game strong.
lats. You can see muscles they never heard of in like those time. In those
Pecs like boom.
Yeah, but he don't got nothing else. He got barrel chest. This dude's cut up. He got muscles that they've never seen in those times. Never heard of those muscles before. What's a lat?
But no, the pecs were half the goddamn gimmick. Like
Yeah,
like,
that's all they knew about. They knew about pecs and abs. They didn't know about deltoids. They didn't know about lat muscles. They didn't know anything about that stuff. They were just like, yeah, pecs and abs. All I know about. And then your back. That's the 3 muscle groups they knew about.
Oh man.
But yeah,
I'm glad I got to bury you for how racist you are.
Let me show the audience real quick. Audience, you can look.
You be the judge.
Yes.
Podcast audience.
Kung Lee versus Bolo Young.
It's like, I see 0 similarities. Anthony's gonna be like virtually identical. It's like, you ever see those talk shows where it's like, who's the baby daddy? And like some black girl runs up to the screen and she's like, look at his nose. Look at the nose. That's his baby. Like it's gonna be just like that. It's like
That's still the best defense ever. It's like everybody in my family got a strong neck. Look at that baby's neck. It's all loose and wobbly.
everybody in my family has a strong
We all play
neck.
football. So we all got strong necks. Look at this.
Is that really from the show? Is that a shoot? Or are you making this up?
No, I think I don't know who said this. Somebody said this.
That's so funny. Because it's definitely Maury. Maury had all the good episodes
Yeah.
for paternity.
Yeah.
He's the king of the paternity test. Like nobody else is even fucking around in the game. Like he is the king of you not the father. Like
I think he's the only one that doesn't have like any criminal history.
you are not the father.
Let's see.
The way the audience pops on those, like it doesn't even matter what the result is. There's gonna be a huge pop no matter what. It's like it's more predictable than pro wrestling. Like there's backflips involved. People dance.
They're
That's
like-
a common reaction.
They're like
Dancing.
splits. They do splits.
I'm seriously gonna re-injure my rib.
Jesus. I'm just trying to think. Like, did he do anything? I don't think he did anything.
Ah,
Did he do anything creepy? No, not really.
Maury?
Yeah, I guess he did one thing creepy.
What?
Like touched a girl, touched a lady.
What does that even mean?
Well, Maury's
Was it misunderstood, or was he like?
I'm sorry, it wasn't even touching. Maury's producer Beyonce Nardi filed a lawsuit against Povich for sexual harassment, alleging that she was forced to expose her breasts for photographs for the show and ordered to watch pornography in a private room with an executive producer.
Wait, in order to? And order to? Which one?
And ordered to.
Okay, because that's a way different story. Yeah. Like she was forced to show her breasts in order to go watch porn. It's like in order to get to the porn room, you gotta show your titties. And I was like, I should be able to go into the porn room without showing my titties. This is bullshit. I'm serious. Like they're both possibly valid lawsuits. Like even if the story was what I thought it was when you said it. What year was this?
This was 2006.
Ooh, that's dark. But yeah, that's dark.
Yeah, they settled behind closed doors, and then in 2006 of November.
But that wasn't really him, right? It said a producer.
No, against Povich for sexual harassment.
Oh, so he was like, "You've got to do this, and then come in my room."
Yeah, with the things.
I see.
Yeah.
With another person.
Yeah, it says with an executive producer. It doesn't say Povich directly, but it could be.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm thinking he said it. He's like, hey, you guys show your breasts for photographs. Like, I gotta take pictures of your boobs. Then you gotta go in there with that guy. That could be it too.
Ooh.
That could be it too. That's what I'm saying.
Who knows? We're just making up stories.
Yeah, but that's literally that's the only thing he's happened to him. I don't think he's had anything else really weird, right? Like not like Steve Wilkos. I think he's like an
What did he do?
I think he's like an alcoholic or something.
Oh, that's nothing.
I don't know. Let's see what he is. Steve Wilkos.
He was a cop, and he's been like pseudo famous for a long time. If he's not an alcoholic, something's wrong with him. Being an alcoholic isn't something you did to other people. Like who gives a fuck?
Steve Wilkos.
It's not even scandalous. Like show me a motherfucker who's on TV every day that's not an alcoholic, and I'll show you a recovering alcoholic. Like get the fuck out of here. That's par for the course.
Yeah. Plus, I wasn't really a Steve Wilkos kind of guy. He was kind of always weird.
It's like I feel like you can tell a lot about these dudes by the topics they choose to do like tons of episodes on. Yeah. And all of his episodes are about like baby rapes and shit. Like,
so dark.
It's like so dark. The darkest daytime show of all time.
Also,
it's like, did you eat that baby? I know you ate that baby. Don't you sit down on my stage, you baby eating motherfucker. Yeah. And he like throws a chair.
Like he does like all this. I never understand. That's the dumbest thing ever. Is like
he like demands that people don't sit down on it.
Yeah, you can't sit down here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need a daytime talk show for ourselves. I just don't know what the angle would be. I don't know exactly what I would be doing. Like what would all right, Maury's got the baby daddy thing locked down. Steve's handling all the baby rapes. He's got that locked down.
You should go for the illegitimate athlete kids. That's what you should go for. That's the market you should go for.
That's just a variation on you are the father though.
I know, but it's
very niche.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of people would be interested in that. Or
so like the show would be about me meeting somebody who constantly at the bar claims to be somebody's kid, right? And then so like it would be like catfish essentially. Like somebody would have to rat out their drunk homeboy who's always like, yeah man, I'm Sean Kemp's kid, but he never done shit for me, right? And so we're at the bar, I take your beer, I fucking swab that shit with a Q-tip.
Yeah.
And then we take it to the lab. It's like, all right, now we've also we found out where Sean Kemp likes to summer. And we stole a towel from his fucking workout. We gotta take the towel and this fucking Q-tip. We're gonna see if there's a DNA overlap. And then, like, when we go back to that same bar, and that dude's like, man, Sean Kemp, man, I mean, if my life was different, you know, if my dad had given me child support, then you'd slap some papers on the desk, and you're like, you motherfucker.
It's like, no.
You're a loser.
You're a liar. But then you get that one Jack 6 black dude that's like 6'8". He's like 300 pounds. He literally moves like the wind.
We're like, that's a story your mom told you so that she didn't have to tell you who your real daddy was, the crack dealer down the street.
Exactly.
She didn't have to tell you the real story. No, your daddy is Sean Kemp. That's your daddy. No, don't try to contact him.
I'm trying to think. What else? What would be a good angle? Kleptomaniacs? No, it's not that interesting.
No, I mean they could be because it's like, why are you a kleptomaniac, right?
Right. Or like
Or just mania in general.
the things they steal.
Mania,
Yeah.
just any mania. I really am kind of fascinated by things like that, like pyromania, and that's the show. That's our show. Our show is about finding people. It's just called Mania. And I just talk to crazies about how crazy they are. No therapy. Like just reveal yourself to me for no reason. Like there's that show, The Therapist, with some fucking super lame motherfucker who's always dressed weird.
Yeah.
And his name is like Dr. Shriri, whatever the fuck, but you're some random black dude. He's talking to celebrities who aren't celebrities. It's like you were in a band 10 years ago and no one listened to it. Like bands that I even like, but I know are not really, really popular. Like they're not popping. They're just like good bands. And like he'll be like, all right, tell me your deepest, darkest stories. And then he doesn't really like solve them for these people. They just reveal themselves. Like we could just be just like that. Except for I'd be heckling them instead of being like, like Dr. Shriri, whatever the fuck his name is. The show's called The Therapist. Have you seen it?
No, I have not.
The Therapist.
I have not, but that sounds interesting. So
it's the worst show.
So you got Mania. You can go like CTE victims. You could do that. You could do that one. Like what? Like what has
Law and Order.
CET.
CTE.
CTE. It's like get him. It's I can't find my husband.
Oh my God.
Seriously,
I'm gonna injure myself. I have to be careful.
I
cannot be bending and laughing at the same time. Bad shit happens to my body.
Gotcha. So now I
gotta keep it upright.
You gotta keep the chest out. Proud chest. Proud chest.
Proud chest.
Hold it.
Say it with your chest.
Hold a golf ball with your shoulders. Come on. How? Why?
Yeah. Hashtag things that Matt says.
Things that Matt says.
Push the ground away.
So come up through your spine. Put your spine through the belly button. It's all the.
Oh, it's so good. But like the other Matt, Thigh Matt, buries me for all my phrases too. You know, like whatever you're a trainer or whatever, a teacher, you have your phrases that you use to like bring things home or to like make sure that you're being understood.
Right.
And it's really most of it are like insecurity triggers. Like for me, I know that's for sure. I'll be like, does that make sense? Like, are you still with me? Like, did you go away? Do I have your attention?
I've been saving up some ribs for Matt because I was just like, hey, because he always says like the scapula, or he takes some like medical term like,
oh yeah, no, he's definitely channeling Danaher.
I know for sure, but I just want to be like, hey, are you a doctor now?
Like, look, the accent's gonna creep in. It's just like when we were first like blue belts and shit, right? And all the instructionals we watched were like by these dudes who spoke Portuguese.
Yeah.
So every now and then you would teach a move that you had watched like 500 times on video, and you'd be like, so I'm gonna make a press.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure there's pressure here. Yeah, because you're basically regurgitating the best version of the move that you know,
right,
which is the way it was taught to you, which was by this person with this accent. And so when he's like, I'm gonna place my suicide zone.
Yes.
I'm going to grab the hid. One day he's gonna say hid, and then you guys can all die. Like you can all laugh and die.
I know.
It'll be great.
We're waiting for it. I'm like the scapula.
Dude, it's just a matter of time. I'm serious. It almost happened. Like I didn't want to pop for it yet because it wasn't really at the right moment. But I feel the ingredients are there.
It's creeping up. It's creeping up. I think by the time you come back, it'll have happened at least once.
Oh, that'll disappoint me. I want it to happen for the first time when I'm there, so I can crip walk after.
Oh, crip walk.
Anthony, I've had enough.
Have you?
Yes. I need to take a shower. The reason I've had enough is because I keep looking around at this room and I see the work that is ahead of me.
Understandable. I had so many hard-hitting questions for you. Oh,
yes?
I had so many hard-hitting questions for you, but next time.
Hard-hitting questions?
Yes.
Concerning what?
Just you as a person.
What?
Yes. I had a long revelation one day about you as a person, about when you said, well, I don't know, like I said, if you gotta go, you gotta go. But I got the hard-hitting question for you.
How dare you?
I'm just saying.
Can't just leave. That's a cliffhanger episode.
It can be. It doesn't have to be. It's up to you.
Oh man, that's cold. I don't want to do that to people.
Okay, we'll do it right now.
I kind of do, but because that's kind of funny. But I don't want to do that to people. So what's the question?
So basically, you know how you always say that you're a bad person?
Yes.
Like, so it's hard for me. It's hard for me to believe that in the way that you think about other people. So this is my thought: is that like you have an ability to like basically you're like the Hannibal, the Amazon version of Hannibal. Like you're like the good guy. He's like the good guy in the beginning. He's the guy who's trying to like analyze all these serial killers. And like you have like that same sympathy with other people and their problems. You always be like, oh no, man, you should be thinking about it like this because this is how it would affect that person. Like, oh, I would have never thought about it like that way. I would never thought about how it would have affected that particular person in that particular situation. But in a lot of situations with a lot of different types of people, you know what that how that other person is usually going to react and what the reaction is going to be, and you think that out a lot of times before you act. So do you really think you're a bad person, or is it something you say to yourself to make you feel like you're like, for all the bad things that you've done, I'm absolved of them?
I think the latter is the most accurate.
Okay.
Right. So I'm aware that I'm not really a bad person. But when I think of myself that way, it helps me stay on a path where I try to do good things. Yeah. Right. Like, it's like, oh, my default setting is to be horrible. So I have to make sure I have to be extra careful to be fucking respectful and nice and considerate. And I use empathy as a tool to give people worth so that I don't try to harm them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So fine, Anthony. I will publicly state that I am not a bad person and I'm aware of that. But I will soon state again on some level when I get into a rant about what a terrible person I am, right? Like,
no, I get it. Yeah.
But it's just a part of a rant. It's something that drives me toward the center, right? Like, I don't believe I'm some awful guy. I don't think that.
Part two of that question: do you use that for like comfort for a lot of things? Because
maybe.
Yeah, okay.
God damn it, Anthony, you're coming with the really hard-hitting questions. Yeah, I think maybe I do use that to kind of comfort myself from time to time to keep me, I don't know, like, how do I say this?
I can give you a perfect
Like,
instance.
Yeah, what?
Like when you're moving to Las Vegas, that was like the things you were saying for like the weeks up until that point. And I don't think it was a mixture. I don't think it was just moving to Vegas. I think somewhere in your mind you were still upset with the idea of hurting other people's feelings, and that can include adults and or kids. But like a lot of that was like you kept saying like I'm such a bad person, but my friends love me. And it's like I'm such a bad person. I'm like, man, this guy really like has to think about this a long way. And I'm like, oh wait, he's crazy. He thinks about everybody else's feelings all the time. So of course that's what it is. So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like it's funny because that was the topic of discussion this morning. Like one of the first things that was discussed today was my ability to empathize, right? And it was something that was developed, and now I think it's like very sensitive.
Yeah.
You know, like but it was absent during the beginning of my childhood, and then it started to be developed after I tried to hurt another person, and then my mom was like, "Hey, man,
that's not right.
You're gonna become a fucking weirdo if you continue this way." And those weren't her words. My mom, I don't think she swore in front of me until I was swearing in front of her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
My mom would slip into like a Claire Huxtable voice, so it was a very like, Darren, that's not how we behave. Like, that's how I got reprimanded.
Right.
It wasn't like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it was never like that.
That's funny.
But yeah, I think once again you're telling accurate stories about me through your questions. Is there another question, Anthony?
No. I'll save them for later. Got plenty. Keep saving for other time. We'll be here for the extra 20 minutes. So you gotta go clean your room. I gotta clean my room. As you can tell, there's no sheets in my bed.
I can't tell, but you don't have to completely expose yourself. I do see that your bed looks a little bit like a prison bed right now.
Yes.
You look a little prisonish.
Yes.
I'm worried about you.
Yes. Laundry.
But yeah, we will both address the fucking tragedies that are our bedrooms. And it's like, I got to get my Jordan Peterson back on, dog. Like, I got to clean your room. You want to change the world?
You got to clean it. You got to make the right
Clean
change.
your room, you son of a bitch. You want to book some privates?
But my man is.
Clean your goddamn room.
But my man is booking privates. He's available in the Las Vegas area.
I had the first private yesterday. It went great.
Awesome.
The guy who I taught the private to took a class immediately after the private, And during the rolling, he may have tapped some motherfuckers with the shit that we did. And that's always fun to see happen. And he
Right.
was psyched on it, and I'm psyched on it. And so we'll continue to collab.
Nice.
Because that's what a private lesson really is. It's a collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony,
They're in.
I will watch the UFC.
Yes.
We will have a breakdown and a discussion of that very soon, perhaps Sunday. Who knows? Who knows when we will broadcast again?
Who knows?
But I'm really grateful that we were able to give this podcast to everyone. Episode 164 of the Love and Jokes podcast is now fiend. Goodbye, Internet. Peace out, Anthony.